Hey sushi rolls, it's Sushi Baddie here, and today I am back at it again, creating some more content for you guys. A little bit of some house cleaning rules around here at the sushi bar. I just want to let you guys know that I am streaming more of my process from start to finish over on Twitch. I am coming out with my new commissions for the month of October next week. I will be having 5 open spots for my commissions, and I will be making exclusively PNG tubers and profile pictures. If you would like to get those, there will be a link in my bio. We're gonna be using Ko-fi for a little while until I get my card page up and running. But until then, guys, just enjoy today's speed paint. So yeah. Hello, my lovelies. Okay, so just getting right to the point, I found out that I had PCOS, and I had it for a long time, probably since I had my first period. And I say this very loosely because it's more so a speculation on 3 different professionals' opinions based on the way I live my life, based on my blood results, and all these different things. For instance, all my life, since I've had my first, period. So sorry about it. I mean, you clicked on a video about PCOS, so you probably know what the fuck a period is, okay? So ever since I had my very first period, my periods have been abnormally painful, as in I cannot move, it is hard to breathe, and it is hard to function and let alone think while I am on my period for the first 3-day period. Now, some people's periods can last anywhere between 3 days, sometimes 4, and in some extreme cases, sometimes their periods last an entire fucking 30-day cycle for some fucking reason. Shout out to you fucking soldiers, because yeah, I'm not doing that shit, okay? So I was a more average or semi-lucky kind of person because I had my periods for 5 days, okay? So if I started my period on a Sunday, girl, my period was gonna be done by Thursday or Friday, okay? I was lucky. However, at that expense of me having a shorter period, I guess me having excruciating pain was the punishment for my relief of how many days I had to deal with it. And when I say I could not move, I mean that if I moved out of the bed to even go get food, I wasn't eating. I spent more time not eating and consuming the necessary nutrients I needed to, function as a human being whenever I was on my period. I also was not actually doing anything. Like it was really bad. And as I got older, I learned to cope with the pain. But that being said, I was constantly in a state of pain, or I was constantly sick because I was constantly ignoring the state of my body. And I probably mainly attribute this to the fact, I'm not even trying to slander my mom or nothing, but I'm trying to be honest. I'm trying to tell my truth when I say my mom has this idea or this concept in her head that I was a hypochondriac, or I was always trying to get out of school. Mind you, I had no history of doing that. I was really great academically. I probably hated math, yeah, but I loved school. Otherwise, there was nothing else. So the fact of the matter was, if you let my mom tell it, she thinks I'm a hypochondriac. However, if you let every fucking doctor, every person ever draw my blood, and anybody who's ever actually had to deal with me while I was sick and I had almost 100-degree fevers almost every time, yeah, my mom's fucking delusional. Love my mom down, love her to death. However, I've been sick my whole life. A lot of my friends like to say, I have the literal immune system of an autoimmune compromised Japanese schoolgirl. Yeah, I don't know what that means, but I'm assuming that's pretty fucking bad, okay? So, I had a really hard time growing up with me being sick. So let alone with me becoming a woman, quote unquote, depending on who you fucking ask, having my first bleed or whatever. It was really hard to navigate. I was lucky enough that I had a really good family that helped me navigate my period, but it wasn't until I was much older, I'd like to say I was about 17 or 19, when my mom told me and disclosed to me, oh yeah, I had a partial hysterectomy one time. And now, if you have PCOS, you can understand why your mother, your biological mother, not telling you that she had really bad period problems all her life and she had to get a partial hysterectomy. You would see why you would be confused and very upset with her, yes or no? Okay, for all of you who say no, you having certain problems with your body as a woman and being able to reference your mother's problems is extremely important for your survival in the medical world. As a woman, you are already heavily dismissed, or you are heavily underrepresented, under researched, and your only research in some cases is the fact that your family is able to keep a clear, cohesive archive of what has happened. It's like your mom finding out that she had breast cancer and she survived breast cancer before you were born, and then she doesn't tell you that she had breast cancer, and all of a sudden you got lumps in your fucking boobies, bitch. Yeah, that would piss any bitch off, because I know that would piss me off. So of course me and my mom got into it at that point, because I'm like, I think that would have been really great information to know, but whatever. I spent months, entire months, trying to get my mom to help me go to the doctor, because at the time I was not a legal adult. I had spent years actually really trying to get my mom to allow for me to go to the gynecologist. And I'm not saying my mom withheld, she didn't withhold medical assistance for me, but the problem is that our insurance really sucked. It really, really sucked. And so we didn't really go to the doctor like that, but we should have. Mind you, I'm Black and Korean, so me not going to the doctor is kind of a Hail Mary of what the fuck. You kind of can't afford to do that, really, considering how bad the history is with Black women and being sick and then ignoring their bodies being sick. So yeah, I convinced my mom down every single time. I need to go to the doctor, I need to go to the doctor, I need to go to the doctor. But I was especially adamant about going to the OB-GYN because I had a man, okay? I had a man. So about a couple of years ago, I had a man. And me and my man were doing what grown people do. Yeah, I was the nasty. I don't give a fuck. I was freaked out. Who cares? But I was a safe, freaked out bitch. So don't ever get it twisted, okay? So I wanted to go get birth control. Mainly because also I heard, not only just through TikTok, but through many other women, that birth control might be able to help me manage my period pains and manage my periods, because sometimes I would go months without having a period. And I'm like, at this point, I'm about to turn 20. Or 20. I think I was turning 21 at this time when I found out. I was like, bruh, I cannot go the rest of my life now figuring out what the fuck's wrong. So boom, my mom says, here's the paperwork. Here's the doctor. And so of course I'm looking for a Black OB-GYN. If I'm going to get the best chance of figuring out what the fuck is wrong with me, I want to talk to somebody who looks like me. Cool. I go to the best bitch on the block, the baddest bitch on the block. And she's like, okay, we can put you in. I go over there. I'm scared as fuck. I'm scared they're about to have to prick me with a needle. Mind you, I'm petrified of needles. I don't give a fuck. I'm scared of needles, okay? Yes, I have two, four, six. Technically, I have multiple piercings in my face, but that don't matter, bitch. That don't matter. That don't matter, okay? That do not matter. I do not like needles, but I go in there because my life is fucked up right now, okay? I want the birth control and my life is fucked up. I need it. So I go in there. They ask me, of course, are you pregnant? And I say, bitch, are you fat and ugly? Well, I didn't say that, but the bitch had me fucked up because she was so condescending. She was acting like I came in there for some painkillers. Bitch, relax. No, I'm not fucking pregnant. So then I go over there and I go piss in the cup and I write my name on it and I put the cup down and I go and I talk to my OB-GYN. So she's asking me all these questions, all this stuff that we're talking about, the different types of birth control options. And I'm gonna be honest, there's a lot of different birth control options. And any one of them that required a needle, I told her, don't even talk to me about it. And she was like, but butts are for sitting and shitting. I don't want to hear any of that. If it got a needle involved, I don't want it. One of them literally makes an incision in your arm and sticks that bitch in. You got the game fucked up, baby girl. I'm sorry, it's not happening. So I opt to do the oral, which means I'm taking little tablets every single fucking day. for an entire week. One thing my doctor did not tell me is you gotta get off the pills at least once. Once your thing is done, once your week is done of those pills, stop taking them for a week. You're fucking up your fertility, bitch. Yeah, she didn't tell me that. My mom told me that after. I was like, damn, I ain't had a period in like 2 months. My body feels amazing. She's like, ma'am, have you been taking all those packs of pills every single day? And I say, yeah. And she's like, ma'am, absolutely not. Your doctor must have told you not to. And I say, yeah, no, my doctor did not tell me such a thing. So, no. Yeah, learned that the hard way. But let's get back to when I actually found out I had the damn disease, okay? So, of course, I go in, we're talking, I'm answering all the questions of what kinds of birth controls that I would want. I tell her we're gonna start with the oral because I'm not putting some random ring that I put in my coochie in the freezer. That's where the food goes, not my coochie stuff. Sorry, girl. Hell no. Basically, we go through all the checklists of questions. She's asking me about my lifestyle. At the time, I was throwing shot put, discus, and hammer. I was working out pretty much every other week. I was going to work and I was living a really active lifestyle. And she's like, have you always, in the most nicest way possible, she basically just told me, bitch, have you always been this fucking big? And if you know what I look like, you know I'm a 5'8" black woman with some fat ass thighs. Bitch, I'm pretty bottom heavy, but I also got some wide ass shoulders. So I'm literally built like an hourglass for the most part. And she's looking at me like I'm obese, which by her standards, by her looking at me, she was like, yeah, you're obese. And I was like, you can go to hell, bitch, because you ain't that much smaller than me. But, go off. Since you got your degree, you think you know every motherfucking thing. Because she does know every motherfucking thing, but I don't give a fuck. She's like, okay, so yeah. Have you ever grown hair on like underneath your chin? I was like, damn, bitch. Yes, I have a single hair there a couple of times a month. Why? Yeah. Have you ever had this, and the third? We go through a whole checklist and I'm like, damn. I feel like I should stop telling her the truth right about now. Hell nah, bitch. Shit is done and dusted. The shit is cooked. She knew straight up and word too. Yeah, baby girl. You got it. Ding, 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 ding. You got PCOS, but we gotta be sure. So then she goes and she says, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and look at your ovaries. So of course she gets out the little baby monitor thing. Whenever you're pregnant, you get like a little picture. You take a little picture. Yeah, she took a little picture of my ovaries and she said, yeah, left ovary, which is my right. We're talking anatomically here. Technically anatomically left. My right though, my right side of my body has 12 cysts on the one fucking ovary, bitch. That's a problem. That is a problem. She looks at me like, bitch, I put them there. Bitch, I barely exist right now. What are you talking about? You're looking at me like I'm crazy. And then she looks at the other one. So anatomical right, my left got like 6 of them bitches on there. And one of them is really small, but it looked like that bitch is growing. So she says, yeah, we're going to start you on metformin for about a year. If these bitches do not calm down and they don't like shrink, we're going in there surgically and removing them. So yeah, I say surgery. Interesting, because that means you're going to have to hook me up to a little machine thing that's going to get stuck in my arm, and then you're going to drug me, and then you're going to cut me open, and you're going to start digging around in there. I don't like that. So she said, yeah, if that doesn't work, we can also try Ozempic for about a year, but if that absolutely doesn't work, we're going in, baby girl. So I'm like, okay. These either shrink down and I all of a sudden become a skinny queen because now I don't have an inflamed fucking uterus anymore. Or they continue to still fuck up and still be in my business and be in my fucking way of being great. And then I gotta go get on Ozempic and we hope and pray to God that the shit goes down. The crazy part is I know now that it's like, oh yeah, you're fat. That's why you have PCOS. Bitch, even at my smallest, my shit was fucked up. So what's the problem now? What's the answer now, Picasso? Since you think you can paint every fucking thing, since you think you know every fucking thing, you got your degree. Yeah. So of course I live my life, whatever, things are great, whatever. I go, she tells me we're gonna be back up in here a week from now, a literal week from now. Okay, cool. You're gonna go upstairs, you're gonna get your blood drawn, whatever. Again, I'm with my man at this point. Well, I'm at my I'm not with my man at this point when this happens. Like, he's not there, but I have a man. Okay, I have a man. So of course I'm like, I'm about to go get blood work done, and y'all already about to charge my insurance. Why don't y'all already go ahead and add on STD testing? I'm talking about check for herpes, type 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all of that. Check it all. Because I need to know whether or not I'm even coming back here or I'm going to the nearest penitentiary. Honestly, the penitentiary don't want to see me after what the fuck I'm going to do to that man. I'm going to be on the 11 o'clock news. That's how bad it was going to be. Come back, everything's clean, everything's amazing. I'm like, yes, I can keep my man, and my man can stay living. He didn't know his life was in danger, honestly. But, you know, shit's cool, shit's kosher. I'm having a great day. Hey, bitch, I'm living it up. Girl, I'll go back next week. Lord, I go back next week. And these bitches tell me, whew, that's interesting. What's going on here? Because mind you, I had went to the emergency room between that time and then found out not only did I have a UTI from that man, I was pissed. But also they went ahead and did some blood work. Yeah, baby girl, you're preggers. I don't think so. They said, well, we know so. And I said, no, you don't. And they said, yes, the fuck you are. So of course, you know, I live in a fucking red state, bitch, so I can't do anything about that. So of course I go to the fucking OB-GYN and I'm minding my business. She's like, interesting. Yeah. Do you want some prenatals? I'm like, no, bitch, I want you to get rid of it, but we can't do that around this bitch. Okay. So give me some other shit. And she's like, oh yeah. So we're going to go ahead and check on these cysts and we're going to figure out where the little fetus is. Yeah. No one can find it. Yeah. So not only did I have PCOS for years and no one found it until I went recently, well, not recently, but then recently to the doctor. Y'all finally found it. Speculation is I've had it pretty much all the entire time that I've had a fucking period, which is for years at this point. I'm like, I'm 2 decades old, guys. I'm 2 decades old. And you tell me you bitches are just now finding it? But you know what? I'm not surprised, okay? So I'm gonna let that shit go. Cool, y'all help me out. Things are good, things are kosher. Cool, that happens. Now, I end up going to the motherfucking doctor, and you're talking about prenatals, girl, you can go to fucking hell. Mind you, I've been on the pills, okay? I've been on the pills. I've been on everything. I've been taking everything religiously. When I say religiously, I'm talking about I was taking them pills. Mind you, there's 3 weeks worth of pills in one pack. 3 weeks worth of pills in one pack, beloved. So that means, bitch, that means, if you don't know what that means I was taking 3 weeks back to back. I've been on them bitches for 6 weeks. So I'm a part of that little 1% where it's 99% effective, but you know, there's still that little 1%. Yeah, shit was fucked up around that bitch. Either way, come to find out, you know, PCOS is shitting on me. The birth control was shitting on me, and my metformin was the only thing that was making me shit. So if you're a woman out there and you know what metformin is, baby, you know you was shitting. Okay, you don't take metformin without no food, okay? Because you need to push all that shit out. I was a skinny queen though, because I was eating a whole bunch of grapefruit. Grapefruit was eaten down, okay? I was loving it. But yeah, other than that, shit was great. Shit was amazing. Shit was kosher, okay? When I figured out that PCOS was the problem. But guys, all I here, if you do nothing today and you take nothing from today's story time, if you ever, and you live in America, and if you ever need to go to the doctor and you are worried about you're worried about meeting your deductible or whatever the fuck are you worried about, go to the fucking emergency room. If you are sick and something is wrong with you, yes, it's going to be an extremely long wait because you technically do not have an immediate emergency. But if there is something wrong with you, go to the fucking emergency room, okay? When I say the bill barely costs a bounce that ass, and technically you can go a really long time without having to actually pay. You don't have to actually pay, baby. You don't actually pay that. And it don't get reported to collections. for right now anyway. I'm just saying right now in 2025, they don't send that shit up to collections. So you could rack up so many goddamn hospital bills through the emergency room. Bitch, they ain't charging shit. Okay. But yeah, guys, I'm going to leave some resources to about PCOS that's a little bit more refined. It's not as silly. These are some of the same resources that not only did this lady give me, but like 3 other OB-GYNs I ended up seeing about my condition. And then of course I went to some seminars talking about PCOS for women, specifically Black women to be exact, because it does affect us a little bit differently due to the kind of care that we actually receive. So if you guys want any more resources on that, I will have them, hopefully. God, editing sushi, please tell me, bitch, that you got that in there. I will have them down in the description box below with all the links. And if you guys want to talk about your own experience, how you found out that you have PCOS, please go in the comments and tell me all about it, because the way that some of my friends found out that they also had either endometriosis or they had PCOS or anything of that similar nature, it was crazy. It was crazy. But that all aside, y'all already know what I'm about to say. Don't bite, don't fight. And if you do, don't get fucking caught, bitch. And if you tell them I told you to do it, you know what I'm about to do, guys. Yep, you've been here for a long time, and if you're new here, yeah, all I'm gonna tell them is I'm gonna tell the people that you're a liar, that you're deranged, that you're delusional. I would have never said that to you. So, yeah, stay safe out there, because you know I'm gonna tell on you.